All right, everybody. Welcome to the second stop of the 2025 Champions Tour season down here at La Crosse, presented by Minn Kota, Yeti, and Explore La Crosse. You guys, these sponsors have been crucial to supporting the Champions Tour. Minn Kota, especially here, giving away an Ultrex Quest at every single regular season event, giving away Raptors, providing us all with the technology you see here on our wrapped boats. Yeti for all of the coolers, Yeti 35 Tundras, the day boxes, the 15s, the Tundra 45s, all of these things you see are donated by Yeti and provide giveaways and prize packages for all of the anglers and some of the marshals if they are marshaling the angler who catches big bass. Speaking of prizes to give away to the marshals, whoever wins the event, the marshal that was with that angler will receive a free custom VF rod from myself and my wife, Danielle. So make sure you guys stick around. If you don't know if you won or if you don't know if you have big bass, we'll be handing away Yeti Daybach lunches and custom rods, excuse me. Skeeter and Yamaha provide these boats, and they're the lead sponsor of the Champions Tour Trail. They've been with us since the beginning, so make sure you go out there. Thank the guys that are providing us with Skeeter boats and Yamaha motors. Humminbird, Northland, Striker Apparel, Waypoint, Arsenal, Warner's Dock, Wenzel's Farms, TSG Graphics, the wraps that you see on these boats, Powerhouse Lithium, Explore La Crosse, Explore Alexandria, My Wedge, and First Form are all sponsors of the Champions Tour, and we're very, very grateful to have all of them with us here today. Some of those weren't able to make it, but at the Pro-Am here in 2 weeks, you'll see boats from Warner's Dock and other members of the sponsors that will be there to represent their companies to help us along the way. All right, so what a barn burner, huh? First event up in Vermilion was incredible. We set records across all social media platforms. It was absolutely insane. Today's a little bit different, but I want to start by talking to a couple of the marshals to see how their day progressed in the heat. Let's hear a little bit about the experiences on the water. We got some marshals out here. We got a couple marshals. Raise your hand if you were marshaling in the event. Let's have you come up here, brother. Either one of you guys. I have a Corey jersey. Yeah, here we go. Wearing the VF hat. We're going to just kind of get the slow roll into this live process. And we have a few more tabulations taking place. I went to high school at Corey, so I saw that jersey immediately. Brother, what's your name? Tell me how many years you've been marshaling and then who you marshaled for.
My name is Jacob Lang. This is my first year marshaling, so my second tour, like second stop. I was with Evan Blakely today, and that was a ride. Through the heat, we caught him good right away. Then we went on a little down streak. Then all of a sudden, right before like break, he found this one spot and 4 fish, and he was back up in it real fast.
It's incredible what these anglers can do out there. Tell me a little bit about what you learned with the marshal when he found those spots, and can you tell me, aside from just fishing, were there any other advice topics that he had given you throughout the day?
He taught me one technique that was really cool. I've never seen a guy throw that before. But besides that, kind of taught me a little bit where to go, what to try, what not to do. And one of the main takeaways that I got from him was never give up. I was personally like coming into the break was like, yeah, it's slowing down, but then he picked it up real fast. I'm like, oh, here we go again.
What an incredible experience. And Evan Blakely has been with us for a few years. Evan, where are you, Evan? Evan, thank you so much for being part of the trail. It clearly seems that you leave a mark on all these anglers. Dude, thank you so much for sharing your experience, and we look forward to having you around some more. Round of applause for Mr. Lang. Attaboy, rocking the Corey jersey. All right, so in this process at the last event, we started out this little bit of a hot seat deal. Can I get you guys a little bit closer? I feel like I'm talking to a big field of grass. Come on up a little bit closer, guys. There's some shade up here. I want you to feel like you're part of this whole thing. The hot seat, the Yamaha Skeeter hot seat. It's something that I wanted to introduce that way. We don't really know who's going to be in the top 10. We don't know who's going to be in the top 6. We don't know who wins the event. But going into the second half, we had a veteran on the Champions Tour leading the event, Mr. Aaron Teal. Where's Aaron Teal? Can we get a hand up from Aaron Teal? Is he out there in the crowd right now, or is he out there rigging rods? He's probably out there rigging rods, pacing back and forth because he's nervous. If we can get someone to grab Aaron Teal out there to come up here, because he needs to sit in this hot seat and feel what it's like to be under pressure. Aaron Teal has been on the trail for at least 4 years. Great friend of mine, great friend of most of ours, and I'm sure he has a story or two to tell. We also need Aaron Teal's marshal. Where's Aaron Teal's marshal by chance? We got any of you guys out there that know where Aaron Teal's marshal is? Once we get these two up here in the hot seat and we get him up here, we're going to talk with them a little bit. But in the meantime, I need another Champions Tour angler to come up here and share with us their experience. Let's talk to, one of you two guys are going to come up here and talk to me and burn some time. Come on up here. We'll chit-chat just for a minute before we get Aaron Teal up here. Tyler Barr, everybody. Round of applause for Tyler Barr hanging out and making it through the hot sun down here in La Crosse. Tyler, while we're waiting for Aaron Teal, I want you to explain, A, how your first half went, if you had to make any adjustments in the second half, and where you feel that you're standing, because as of right now, the blackout period keeps everything dark. You don't know where you're at. So tell me how the first half went, then the second, and then where you think you're at.
Well, pretty much the only thing that went good for me the first half was I didn't tear off the lower unit or wreck the boat. I zeroed this morning, just try to get some wing dam fish going, try to get some weed line fish going, and just caught some small fish, but this morning was brutal. And then the afternoon, the game plan was to chase smallies. Had found a spot. There was a real sharp sand break with the point. And while I was practicing, a pontoon drove by me, and when that wake hit the point, all of a sudden smallies just started erupting everywhere, all over the break. I was like, well, I'm not even gonna cast in here. I know what the spot is, and started there the second half, caught 5 or 6 little ones, and then I didn't get bit for a while, but I wasn't casting the right spot, and I left. And I left for an hour or so and didn't catch a fish when I left. And I came back, but I positioned the boat differently. Instead of casting on the point, I was just casting right in the middle of this flat. And I had 7 or 8 real nice fish in a row. It was a fun hour stretch, but then kind of a cool story I saw while I'm sitting there fishing. Me and my marshal looked down. There was about a 6 or 7 inch bluegill just kind of wounded at the surface, just barely kicking. When all of a sudden just a wolf pack of 3+ pound smallies start kicking this thing around. They're fighting over it, knocking in the air. They're trying to eat this thing. And I'm like, all right, what do I have bluegill tied on through chatterbait, swim juice, everything through there. Couldn't get them to bite. And here I'm just watching these fish just knock this bluegill around like it was a toy. But it was a fun second half, I think. I'm going to just be short of a check, but just really glad to make up some points.
The crazy thing is there's still some tabulations taking place, so you don't know, and I don't even know where a lot of the anglers ended up. So I appreciate you sharing your experiences. It's been awesome having you on the trail. Thank you so much for your time up here. Give them a round of applause, everybody. Thanks a bunch for hanging out. I know the sun is getting hot, and we're just waiting for a couple last-minute tabulations. Did Aaron Teal finally make his way up here? Yeah, there he is, Teal Bird getting all mic'd up. What about Teal Bird, Aaron Teal's marshal? Do we have his marshal anywhere around here? Paul? Well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to be a little more interactive with the camera while we're down here before we get to the actual handing out of checks and talking about big bass. But Aaron Teal here, my former tournament partner, had a really, really good first half, We're going to put him in the hot seat. But before we do that, on the Yeti, what is that, a Tundra 35 on top of the Skeeter Yamaha package, Aaron Teal, can you share with us a little bit of the juice from the first half and what you did to get yourself in that good position, give you a cushion going into the second half?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, we were a late boat draw. I was a little nervous about the first half because there wasn't a lot of smallmouth areas, but there was a good amount of smallmouth, in those areas. So I, figured we'd just make room, hunker down, Turns out nobody started on the wing dam I wanted to fish. And I didn't catch a dang thing I wanted to start on. And nobody else wanted to be there, but it was a great one in practice. So then the one down from that, I was able to get that as well. We caught 3, but it was still a grind. Ron was right nearby. I watched him catch a 4-pounder, and then we bailed. I went to a south area that I just had a school of bigger fish. And when we pulled in, there was a boat there, a tournament boat, and they left and pulled in, didn't catch them, had a couple come up at my top water. And Dane, you probably remember this day on the Rainy River when we figured out a casting angle. Actually, him and I did together. It was kind of a really special moment for me, in learning how to fish a river, learning how to fish in current. And we pulled up the upcurrent side of that. I was about to leave. Pull up the upcurrent side of that, throw my jig head minnow down and sweep it. And I get a 4-pounder immediately. And I'm like, oh my God. Like I couldn't catch them. And then I switched my boat angle and it was like, but guess what? I broke that fish off right next to the boat. But I was so happy because it showed me what I needed to do. So I stayed positive and I think I caught a good one on my next 3 casts. And then they quit eating that. So I picked up a Veselka, 2 rod, started catching them on that. But it was a grind. It wasn't easy. And I really knew it was anybody's game after that first half. I was happy to come out, how I did, and just had a few things work out. And that stuff we learned on the Rainy that we've taken to 4 and 5, panned out in the first half anyway.
Awesome, Aaron Teal. Round of applause for Aaron Teal leading the first half. He's going to be sitting in this hot seat over here on that Yeti 35. If you wouldn't mind, Teal, while I talk hopefully I get a hold of your marshal here, we're going to have you jump up into this Skeeter Yamaha package. If you wouldn't mind, either the tongue, there's a chair there, or if you feel like you're athletic and you want to jump up onto that thing, you're going to be parking it right on that blue Tundra 35. Now, he's going to be sitting there unless anyone else knocks him off. We're going to go from 17th place up. 17th place paying $2,000. $2,000 to 17th place cash, and then working our way upwards. At the last event, I learned a few things. When we had no cell service and I didn't have things written down, I was off the cuff for the majority of the weigh-in process. So I'm going to have a more accurate sheet with the exact prizes as we go down to the dollar amounts and everything as we go and climb our way up through the top 6. And then Bart has instructed to me when we hit top 6, we want to make sure either A, we're miking up those top 6 guys, or what are we doing with the top 6 before we get? Once we're done, 10 minutes, we got to film the video. Perfect. Recap video after we're done for the top 6. So reminder, the top 6 guys, if you're 1 through 6 at the end of the event, stay around. We're going to make sure we get recap videos for all you guys. And then we're going to have some more information for those YouTube videos, which, by the way, Bart is working up an awesome YouTube video for Vermilion, and everything else from here moving forward will be created, composed, and released at an appropriate time afterwards. So be on the lookout for that YouTube video. It's going to be awesome. I believe we're doing a 2-part video because there were almost 4,000 bass caught in an 8-hour period, which is incredible. Like I said, records were shattered, weights were broken, and the amount of fish, I believe it's 8 fish a minute. It was incredible. Speaking of incredible, I want to remind everybody our next event, the Pro-Am, is in 2 weeks on July 15th at Lake Minnetonka. If you haven't signed up for it, pros, please, or if you're watching the live stream here, please take an opportunity to look at the format online, classicbass.com. We're taking more pros. It's still open. We'll be able to pair then the marshals at these events with the pros, and we can't get the pros in the boats the AMs in the boat unless we have enough pros. So July 15th, that's right around the corner. Still able to sign up. Make sure you do so. It's a great payout, and it's out of Lord Fletcher's in just 2 weeks. Your marshal was Paul. Do we still have Paul around here? If Teal wins today, Paul gets a free custom rod, so he might want to stick around. Did Paul leave? Yes? Sounds like it. Well, if it is very hot out, and I'm sorry to make you sit up there in the sun, but if you end up winning today, he will end up winning a custom rod from VF Rods. So can we get an update on the tabulations for our top 17 to make sure we can get that process started? In the meantime, I'll talk to one more pro. Let's get Ron Mayer up here. I don't think Come on, Ronnie. We didn't make you do the safety meeting. You're not the safety director this year, but I still want to hear another word or two from you. You happen to be standing in front of all these guys. So I want you to share with us how your first half went, and then if there were any changes made, and then how that second half ended up transpiring better.
First half went pretty good. Got on a school of smallies that were out on a wing dam, and should have gone better actually. It lost a couple giants, but they're big smallmouth. You know, you always lose the big ones. So second half started out. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to wreck anything. But there was a lot of us that were catching fish in a certain area, and the way it all played out is gonna. Well, I guess we're gonna see that in a little while. But yeah, the second half went okay. I probably shouldn't say any more than that right now. But
how stressful was the blackout period?
And not stressful. It was good. It was good, but yeah. I'm not speaking for Teal on that one, I guess, but no, it was good. It's kind of a cool format, and I hope everybody watching likes it too. Like now that you're watching the weigh-in live, it makes it a lot more exciting, I think, and I think all the anglers think that, and hopefully you guys at home think that too. Especially everybody. We appreciate everybody watching all day long, and now you get to see what actually happened. So.
We get to see the big show. We get to see who wins and who makes the top three. And more importantly, for those of you who don't know, the points at the end of today and throughout the season accumulate. And we have to cut 22 anglers at the end of the season. So 45 will guarantee a berth in the next year's season. Where are you sitting at for points, and how important is your finish? What was your finish at the last event? And then what are you thinking going into the next event, and how you feel with how we're going to do a true cut of 22 anglers? What does that mean with your finish? And tell me about that.
So I took 7th on Vermilion, and it's kind of the way this year played out, it was kind of a win-win for me because if I completely suck, the requalifiers on Crosse, and I live on Crosse, so we're going to my home lake if I suck, and if I would actually suck at that one, I would quit fishing. But other than that, we're going to Green Lake for the championship, which is also right down the road, which I've spent a lot of time on, and it'll be cool to go there. I don't really have an advantage because everybody that is fishing this fishes green for multiple terms. It's just an amazing lake. It's been an amazing lake for years and years and years, and in the last few years, it went downhill a little bit, and the last few years gotten really good again. So it's going to be exciting to have the championship out there this year, and I hope I make it and get to fish it. It'd be a bummer looking on from the sidelines for that one for sure.
Well, and you touched on the qualifier a little bit, so a reminder before we jump to the checks here: the 22 anglers that are cut at the end of the season are guaranteed to fish the qualifier if they choose to do so. We're going to cap that qualifier off at 50 anglers on September 20th on Lake Crosse. But the 28 remaining spots will go first to the waiting list members that didn't get to fish the Champions Tour this year that were unfortunately left on the waiting list. Those 28 spots are almost filled up already. We've already released that down to those waiting list members. So if anyone does happen to be cut here in the next month after that final season event, they will have that first dibs opportunity, and the remaining spots then go out to the public. So thank you for touching on that. It's always a pleasure having you out here. Stick around. Let's see how you did, and congratulations, Ron. Round of applause for Ron Mayer, everybody. I'm going to take a quick 2-minute intermission. We're going to have Sobe, do you want to freestyle up here? I know you can. I got to just chat with Jack Gavin here real quick, if you guys wouldn't mind. 2 minutes just to tabulate a couple things, and then we get started.
How cold are they? There's a warning. Yeah, styles, tribulations, loss, fish, lots of fish, and we learned something. It's grinding. Grinding. Basically,
All right, everybody. Let's start out with the big bass. Big bass for the second stop on Lacrosse down here. Big bass going to none other than Mr. Dean Capra with a 4-pound, 14-ounce. I believe it was a largemouth. My man. You're getting a Yeti Tundra 35. We're going to get that to you here in just a second. Dean, can you please share with us what you caught that thing on? And you said there was quite a story when you caught that fish. The Marshal was giddier than ever when he hopped off onto the dock.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was throwing a frog and the thing, I had a little boil and I didn't get him, so I picked up a jig, threw it in there, and the fish hit it. And I set the hook. I said, "Oh man, it's a 5-pounder!" And it's coming to the boat, and he got all full of weeds and stuff. And I went to flip him in the boat, and the jig come out. And the bass was in midair, and it hit the windshield, and then hit my leg, and I got poked it right there with the fins. And I kind of dove on him, because I knew it was a big one. And the kid was he was sitting in the seat. So it was right there when it all happened. And ended up getting him, weighed him, and it was a good big one. And it was just one of them deals. It was super cool that we actually got it. Usually, when in these situations, it hits the window and then it bounces out. But this time bounced in and we got her. And had one other one that I lost doing the same thing with the darn frog. I had about a 4.5-pounder, and the thing went over a log and jumped, and the frog went flying. So it's hard to land all them big ones, on the frogs, but didn't have any bites, so that was it.
Sounds like your boat official, Blake Granholm. Am I saying that correctly? Is Blake around here? Blake Granholm said he was excited to stand around and talk a little bit about the story, but Blake Granholm, the official with Dean Capra, wins a Yeti Day Pack cooler. So round of applause for both Dean Capra and Blake Granholm. Dean, hold that Yeti cooler up loud and proud. We're going to get some pictures. Bart, where would you like these guys to take pictures? Around right in front here? Perfect. As long as you don't run into the speakers, we're good. And then Blake Granholm, when you come back around up front, I'd like to get a word or two with you too, and we'll make sure to get your photograph as well. All right. Let's move on to some cash. I'm going to move up on stage here for the first little bit. We'll have Jack Gavin down here to hand out some checks. We're going to start out with 17th place and just inside the money with 29 pounds and 9 ounces to Mr. Brian Linder. Brian Linder. Come on there, brother. 17th place, $2,000 check. Brian, we're going to rip through the 10 places here. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us this year again, bud. We're not going to do any interviews with any other anglers until we get back into the top 10. We're going to wrap up now to 16th place with 30 pounds and 3 ounces to Matt Holwig. Round of applause for Matt Holwig. $2,000. Matt Holwig rocking that VF Rods hat. Hope you're staying cool, man. Thank you again for joining us this year, Matthew. We appreciate you. Good job. And in 15th place, with the big bass cooler to bring home with this 30 pounds and 14 ounces, $2,000 to Dean Capra. Congratulations, Dino. Good to have you back. 14th place with 32 pounds and 6 ounces. $2,000 check to Mr. Tommy Parker. Mr. Parker. Way to stick him, Tommy. These weights are pretty tight, folks. We got 33 pounds and 6 ounces. 13th place, $2,000 to Mr. John Nelson. Nelly Nelson. Some would call him a rookie this past year. He's no rookie. He's no stranger to bass fishing. John, it's a pleasure to have you around. Thank you so much for joining us again this year, John. How you feeling up there, Mr. Teal? You feel like you got a little bit of cushion yet? You feel like you're okay?
I think you could definitely call this a hot seat.
I feel bad for this guy because what was that comment?
I think you could definitely call this a hot seat, quite literally.
Keeping him in the sun. We're going to try and get you out of that sun as soon as possible here.
No, keep me here long. I want to bake.
All right. 34 pounds and 6 ounces to 12th place, Jeff Bosshart. Way to go, Jeff. 35 pounds and 8 ounces. Takes home 11th place. A $2,000 check to Nathan Nipper. Come on, Nipper. Had an awesome finish in the first event. You're looking great for points, Nate. Thank you so much. Taking home $2,000 with 35 pounds and 8 ounce down here on lacrosse. Good job, Nate. All right, we're getting up into the top 10 now. Bumping up the money a little bit as we progress up. 10th place with 35 pounds and 11 ounces to Mr. Charlie Wright. Come on up here, Charlie. We're going to talk to you for just a minute here, man. Congratulations, $2,250. Charlie, you're no stranger to being up here now. Let's hear a little bit about your first half, your second half, which one was better, and what you think about our blackout period.
Yeah, we'll take another top 10. That's great. I love this river, fishing lacrosse down here, fish down here quite a bit. But, man, today was a brutal day for the river standards. Usually the fishing's a little bit better than this, but first half was, it was tough on everybody, and everybody was kind of optimistic about that second half, and really just grinded it out all day, caught a few 2-pounders, and just, kept fishing, kept my head down, and picked a few. And that blackout period, I don't mind the blackout period. If you're catching fish, it's okay, but today I only caught 2 fish in the blackout period, so I was just hoping that I get a check, but I'm super happy with the top 10, so.
Way to get good points. A great start to your 2025 season. We look forward to seeing you hopefully at the Pro-Am. If not, we'll see you up there at La Hamadi Chain. Congratulations, Charlie Wright. A round of applause for Charlie. All right. In 9th place with $2,250, 35 pounds and 13 ounces. If you guys are listening, we're separating these places by ounces. So 35 pounds, 13 ounces, Ryan Kiki. Come on, Ryan. Another Rocori guy. Come up here, share with us your experience. $2,250, 9th place. Another great finish for points, Ryan Kiki. Tell me about your day, bud.
Oh, man, coming into this one, honestly, I was pretty nervous. Just wanted to survive, and I caught 2 bass the first period, and I'm not even sure how many I had the second period, but I just did the definition and went fishing. I fished my first spot, got nothing, and I looked at my marshal and I told him I might be screwed. So just went and fished whatever the heck looked good. So we went fishing.
Super proud to watch you grow as an angler. This is your, I believe, your second start to the season. Now you've been up here. Is this the second top 10, did you say? You had another good finish. Maybe you were just in the money at the last event on Vermilion. So 2 great finishes for Ryan Kiki. Congratulations and a round of applause for you guys. Thank you. All right. We got 35 pounds and 15 ounces. Another 2-ounce separation for VF Rods Pro Staff member Ron Mayer. Come on, Ron. Rocking the Arsenal and the striker and all the logos on his jersey. Ron Mayer, I know you already exchanged some words, but $2,500 with 35 pounds, just shy of 36 pounds. Couple more words for us on how your season's going?
Season's going good. Like I said, we've got a tournament left, so there's still a chance I could fish Coronas. But if I sit on the sidelines for that one, I'm not going to be too terribly sad. But yeah, another good tournament. I'm not going to give out too much because you'll see it on the show, and you'll see what's coming up here shortly. But
You can tell the story better than anybody.
yeah, the loser always can. But it's I think it's going to make some good TV for sure. But glad to be a part of it, and thanks for everything you do for us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ron. Make sure you go grab some ice and beverages out of that Yeti-filled cooler. I know there's some coolers floating around with some ice. Everybody, round of applause again for Mr. Ron Mayer. $2,500 for 8th place. We're jumping up to 7th place now. 36 pounds and 14 ounces. $2,500. Kevin Fastbend. Come on, Kevin. $2,500. Get up here, Kevin. It's been an honor being able to fish with you over the past few years. You're a guy that's been around the tour for a little while. I would like to think that you're a pretty strong river rat and you drive a long way up to these events. Tell me what this heat's doing to you right now, and let's hear about your day.
Heat, I work outdoors anyway. It's not a problem.
This place is my kryptonite. I probably haven't taken a check here in 12 years. Maybe when you add everything I catch together, it's a little better. That's why I like the tour. And found some new stuff in the morning. Didn't do that great, but just enough, and leaned on some old stuff in the afternoon, and got a place. So happy with that.
Congratulations to you, Kevin.
I think maybe there's a Guinness World Record for catching the most weight without a check. Maybe you should look into that. I think I did that at Vermilion.
Absolutely. Make sure, Gavin, did you hand him his check? Yep. Perfect. Kevin Fastman, everybody. 7th place, $2,500. All right, now, guys, remember, top 6, stick around afterwards. We got to make sure we get recap videos. In 6th place with 37 pounds and 3 ounces. Some of you guys might know who this is. He's over here filming me currently. $2,500, 6th place to Mr. Sam Sobey. Somebody hold his camera for him, will you? Give him a round of applause. Sam Sobey, 6th place with $2,500. My man, congratulations, Sobey. You've been fishing this now for a little while, and you seem to wear not only the banana shirt, which a lot of you don't know. Bananas in boats, that's unlucky. For this man today, well, he found some luck down in the Crosse. Let's hear about it, Sam.
Rich Lindgren, if he's out there, he was eating an actual banana in the boat this morning. I wear this as like an omen of like, I respect it. I wouldn't bring it in the boat, a real one, but this is just a token to it. So yeah, that's why I had some good luck today, is because I didn't have an actual banana in the boat. But yeah, it was awesome. Like, there's a bunch of different ways out here to catch a bass. I don't know this place well by any means. Everything from cut banks to frogging to fluking bridges to doing a little bit of everything, and just keep my head in the game the whole time. The second half we frogged, and it was like super fun. But probably the most epic catch of the day was with 2 minutes left, right out there, right in front of a dock. I made the same cast, and like the 4th cast, like punk. A 3-pounder, and there was like everybody around coming in, and I was like, yeah, and they're like, yeah, so we were pumped. But either way, thank you so much for everything you do. There's a lot of coordination that comes into making this possible, and it doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you
So much, Sam. Everybody, round of applause for Mr. Sam Sobey, YouTube sensation, Terran Champions Tour Pro, walking away with $2,500, Mr. Sam Sobey. All right, in 5th place. This is where it starts to get a little goofy because we had some tabulation changes here. So, hot seat. Some of you guys don't know, we're going to call down 5th and 4th place, hand out the checks, and then the top 3 will be called up onto the stage. We will award the 3rd place Yeti Rody 15 in check, and then we'll announce the winner. So, in 5th place, with $3,200, 40 pounds and 12 ounces, Mr. Evan Blakely. Evan, congratulations, man. $3,200 and a top 5 finish down here in La Crosse in the heat. Few words of wisdom, advice. You're always smiling. Tell me why.
Looking for catching bass. Why would you not be smiling when you're catching them? I mean, didn't hit. Well, okay, we hit some stuff today, but we didn't wreck nothing. I don't know. Oliver might be back yet. Camera boat was following us out. He didn't make it. Yeah, it was a fun day. I mean, the fish weren't biting very good, I guess. I don't know. I've never been here before, so kind of learned what I've followed here the last couple days. And water was climbing. I felt this is the most unprepared I've ever felt for one of these events. I drove all over the place. It's like everything I'm finding is changing, and these fish are leaving, and then it kind of turned into a grinder, which was, I think, the best case scenario, because I don't know if what I was fishing was any good or not, but was able to scrap up some fish and had a blast. I'd like to come back.
Thank you so much for coming back down, Evan Blakely. Congratulations, man, on $3,200 and a top 5 finish. Are you fishing the Pro-Am?
Of course, I wouldn't miss that. And everybody that's not signed up, I think we might have to have a talk. So get on it. Come on, boys.
Thank you so much. Everybody, round of applause for Mr. Evan Blakely, top 5 finish down here on the Crosse. All right. No stranger to being on top of the leaderboard here in 4th place. 45 pounds and 10 ounces. $3,200 to Mr. Noah Schultz. Noah Schultz! Yeah. Noah. A great finish down here on the cross. I could have swore I heard you say something about I'm not that great on the rivers. Tell me what you learned on the final day and during the tournament here and what propelled you up into fourth place.
Well, I learned I like the river when it's high because you can run a lot and not have to worry about wrecking anything. But my goal today was to get a top 20, to leave here with a top 20 in a lower unit. I did that, so it was a success. I hit one log today, killed the engine. I thought, oh boy, fired it back up, put it in gear, and it was moving. I'm like, all right, we're going. But no, it was tough. It changed a lot, and I figured it would with the rising water, and the water kept getting dirtier and dirtier. Places I went to were blowing out, muddy, and fish were gone. So this morning half, I started off, I think I went an hour and a half. I caught like one pounder and like what I thought was my best area. And I kept pushing it and pushing it. And finally I pulled the plug. I'm like, I just got to go fishing. I just started running main river channel riprap. It was a little pattern I found in practice. I hit like 2 or 3 places in practice where main channel riprap where the current smashes in and catching smallies. And I'm like, I'll just run that in the tournament. I did that. I fished a lot of new water. Kept me in the hunt. And in the second half was where all my fish were. But you know how that goes. River comes up, stuff gets blown out. First spot, I catch 3. And then ghost town, go to my next spot. Ghost town, but I see a bunch of clean water pouring in. It was mixing with the mud. Well, let's follow this clean water, see where that goes. And I caught a bunch in the clean water, went to my next spot. And there was a big mat that had blown in that wasn't there before, but had some clean water underneath it. So I fished a mat, caught a few out of there. There's a lot of fish in new water, kind of adapting as the day went today. A lot of stuff I found in practice, it didn't really pan out. I think one area actually caught some fish where I caught in practice, but I was kind of fishing by the seat of my pants today, and I got lucky. I lost a few fish, which is going to cost me. I wouldn't have won. I think Wally's got this locked up, but we'll see, I guess. But yeah, lost some fish, and it cost me, and had a good event. I'm happy. It's the river. I don't like rivers. I survived, so I'm very happy.
Congratulations, Noah. Great finish down here in La Crosse. Everybody, round of applause for Noah Schultz. Great job with 45 pounds, 10 ounces, and $3,200. And now we are to our top 3 anglers. Before we release all the names, there was a little bit of a race going into the end before the blackout period. I first want to award the Wenzel's Farm Major Mover Award to a young man we've watched grow up on the Champions Tour here, Walker Krampitz. Come up here, Walker. The Wenzel's Major Mover Award. A $200 check will be mailed to Mr. Walker Krampitz. Dude, you must have made some serious adjustments here in the second half. Let's talk about that a little bit, and then after we hear about your intel, we're going to get a remaining angler up here and get the 3 of you up here because you guys are obviously in the top 3. And let's hear about what adjustments you made in that second half.
Well, I learned right away in the morning. It's about, I don't know, it had to be 10 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock, where I was sitting there and I got all tangled up, and all of a sudden, I throw my bait over the side and it's just sitting there. I lift it up and I got one. I'm like, okay, well, that's telling me one thing. I need to slow down. I need to refish some of the areas. And I started slowing down, and that's when I started getting multiple bites. Bites that I didn't even know there was that many fish there, type deal. Just making small adjustments like that could make a day even better, in which that's exactly what happened. There was more fish than what I had thought in practice, and just slowing down just helped that a lot. So.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the Wenzel's Farm Major Mover Award. You are in the top 3. We're going to have you hang out here. Everybody, round of applause for the Major Mover, Mr. Walker Krampitz. Yep, let's get a picture real quick. Now, Aaron Teal, you're still sitting up in the hot seat. The sun is behind some clouds. Let's get you down from there and get you up on stage here. We're going to have you down here. We're going to have Walker Krampitz down here. And we're going to have one Mr. Kevin Rue. Kevin Rue. Let's get Kevin Rue up here. All right, we're going to have you guys stand up on stage. Aaron Teal, there's stairs over here by Jack. If you want to hop up on stage, Walker Krampitz, let's get you up on stage. And Kevin, before you do, I'm going to talk to you right here real quick. Jack, I'm going to hand that stage off to you just so we can make some room. Kevin Rue. Kevin, are you local? Tell me about the river, what you know about it. We'll hear a little bit from you before you jump up here. We'll announce third place prize, and we'll announce this winner once we get that check stamped up. So, Kevin, welcome up here, buddy. How did your day on the Crosse go? And are you from here?
I am. I live about 8 minutes from this boat landing, so super close and familiar with this body of water. Probably know too much, and it was super hard practicing with the changing conditions and having a lot. I mean, you have a local advantage, but there's also like a bad side to that where you know what shows up in certain areas and you know how they school up here. And I wasn't finding any major groups in practice, and I was, I just eventually said they don't exist. It's pods of 3 to 5 fish, but maybe tomorrow they'll get there. And the lake split, super hard split on me because I just don't fish as much on the upper part of the pool. Struggled this morning, but yeah, I had a lot of fun fishing at home. It's not as easy as it seems with this format. I know locals maybe looking at it, they're thinking we're not catching them as good as the bite is right now, but with the split, I mean, there's parts of the river that are fishing really good and there's parts that are fishing really bad. But I think everyone caught them pretty solid for the conditions. So
congratulations to you. We're going to have you jump up on stage here. This is your top 3 for the second stop of the 2025 Champions Tour. Do we have the check name stamped and everything good to go there? Yes? Okay, perfect. So third place will be receiving a Yeti Rody 15 cooler with $4,000. I'm going to tell you what these prizes are because we're going to drop third place down here. And then first and second, you've already spoke to a couple of the guys and what's going on. So first, second, and third place, we'll get to describe anything else until we get to the winner. So what we're going to do here is third place with $4,000 in the Yeti Rody 15. Then second place, $6,500, the Ultra Quest with Minn Kota. And then first place, the obvious check in the Yeti first place mug. So we'll announce third place amongst these 3 gentlemen up here with $4,000 in the Yeti Rody 15, Mr. Aaron Teal. Congratulations, buddy. I know you had a great day. We already heard a little bit from you. Maybe we get just 2 more minutes from you real quick, and then we can move on to the winner. I know we don't like to take too much away from the top 3, but you guys already got to share with us a little bit of information. Tell me what you thought about that blackout period and if you feel like you fell that far.
It was interesting, man. I put my boat in a swamp where there was some clean water, and I had 3 frogs on the deck and braided line, and the Veselka casting jig twig was bent over. And but I got on a really good flurry right away, and then it just slowly fizzled out. And going towards the blackout, I had a stretch that I felt good about, maybe making a comeback. And as I idle out of this, or get out of this little swamp I was in, Walker Krampus is sitting right on where I was going to go to. And I knew exactly what happened. And I think there's more to the story, but I think we moved a lot of fish around today. Going into those backwaters, coming out. And I think those current spots can really play, and you can really get right quick. And it just wasn't my day, but I had a blast. I love this place. It's a challenge that never gets old, and it's always a humbling place as well. So
thank you so much, Aaron, for being here. Congratulations on an awesome third place finish. $4,000, Yeti Rody 15. Stick around for a recap on your day. And now we are down to the final man. These 2 guys have fought it out. There were some tabulation things that had to be finalized. The app is up to date. Everything will be on the website, on the app. Congratulations again, Teal, with 45 pounds and 13 ounces. Moving on to our winner of the second stop down in the Crosse, the Champions Tour, and a berth into the championship on Green Lake with $15,000, 60 pounds and 1 ounce. Your tournament winner, Walker Krampus. Congratulations, brother. Wife, get on up here and bring that check up on here. Congratulations, family. Come on up here and give your son a hug. This is awesome. Come on up here. Congratulations, Walker. $15,000. Give your son a hug. Congratulations, you guys. They had no idea coming into this. Another win for Mr. Walker Krampitz. Great points going into the season. It's going to be emotional, man. Take a minute to let it set in. Take a minute. He gets the Yeti first place mug, this big check, and an awesome berth into the championship to fish for a brand new ZX200 Skeeter Yamaha boat package. Round of applause for Mr. Walker Krampitz, everybody. Way to go, bud. Way to go. Now, you guys, this guy's been through it. He's been fishing hard. This isn't your first or second win. This is, I believe, your third win. And I have the honor to hand you this check, Walker. Did you know that you were going to be the leader walking into the blackout period or coming out from the lake? Tell me what those emotions were. And then while you're sitting here, give me the full experience.
Well, I tell you what, between seeing Ron, seeing Aaron, all in the same area, I was fishing something just a little bit off of what they were. I mean, Ron was right down from me, but going into the blackout period, I caught up to Teal, and that last hour, I knew I couldn't fish the whole last hour because I had to go. I wouldn't have made it in time, in which I came in with 1 minute left, so I was already pushing it the way it was because I took the wrong chute supposedly. But I didn't know that Ruth was up there, that high up. I never looked at the app at lunch. I didn't want any part of it. I just wanted to fish my style. I was fishing the beyond relaxed today. I mean, it was the most comfortable I've been in a tournament pretty much my whole tournament career, I guess. So it just opened, more to, like I was saying earlier, just sitting still and being patient, letting the fish come to you, especially in the current, because I watched Matt Peters and Snickenider catch, 4 fish behind me on the same rock pile. And afterwards, I swung back around, and that's where I pulled down and sat there and caught 7 of the fish out in the last blackout period. So, I mean, it's just being patient and doing something, I guess, a little bit different than what I'm used to.
Not only is he your tournament winner, he's also the winner of the Northland Fishing Tackle Contingency for an additional $750. Congratulations, Mr. Walker Krampitz. You deserve it, buddy. Round of applause for Mr. Walker Krampitz. Let's get a picture with you and your trophy down here. We also, Kevin Rue, you were the winner of the Striker Gear Contingency, the $500 store credit. You won the Ultrex Quest. Congratulations, my man. Way to represent the local area of La Crosse. And everybody, that'll conclude our live weigh-in process. Just a reminder, our next event here is in 2 weeks at Lake Minnetonka, the Pro-Am. Make sure you sign up if you're a pro and you want to fish that. There's still some open spots. Thank you, Visit La Crosse. Thank you, Minn Kota and Yeti, for being the presenting sponsor of this event. In 2 weeks, we'll see you, Lake Minnetonka. Thank you, everybody, for coming out.